distance at which you need to consider voltage drop and use a larger size wire for electrical circuits depends on several factors. Firstly, voltage level. The higher the voltage, the less voltage drop you will experience for a given distance. Secondly, current draw. The higher the current draw, the more voltage drop you will experience for a given distance. Thirdly, wire gauge. The smaller the wire gauge or larger the cross-sectional area, the less voltage drop you will experience for a given distance. Fourthly, temperature. The higher the temperature, the more resistance the wire will have and the more voltage drop you will experience for a given distance. As a general rule, for low voltage DC circuits, for example, 12 volts or 24 volts, you can typically use the following wire gauge sizes for short runs: up to 10 feet. Up to 5 amps use 18 AWG, up to 10 amps use 16 AWG, and up to 20 amps use 14 AWG. For longer runs, you may need to use a larger wire gauge to compensate for the increased voltage drop. For example, for a 24 volt circuit with a 10 amps current draw, you might use 12 AWG wire for runs up to 20 feet, 10 AWG wire for runs up to 40 feet, and 8 AWG wire for runs up to 60 feet. For AC circuits, the voltage drop is typically higher than for DC circuits, so you may need to use a larger wire gauge for AC circuits even for short runs. For example, for a 120 volt circuit with a 10 amps current draw, you might use 14 AWG wire for runs up to 10 feet, 12 AWG wire for runs up to 20 feet, and 10 AWG wire for runs up to 40 feet. It is important to note that these are just general guidelines. The actual wire gauge size you need to use for a given application will depend on the specific circumstances, such as the voltage level, current draw, and distance. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to determine the proper wire gauge size for your specific needs.